All right, today let's talk about building a personal roadmap. A map to a destination that, let's be honest, a lot of us dream about: financial freedom. And look, it's not just about getting rich, it's about owning your time, owning your life. So let's get to it and draw that map.
First things first, though, what does that phrase financial freedom actually mean to you? I mean, really think about it. Is it quitting the 9 to 5 for good? Traveling the world without checking your bank account? Or is it maybe just that quiet peace of mind that comes from not having to worry about the bills? Your destination is definitely personal, but the road to get there, it has some pretty common landmarks we can all follow.
You've probably heard of this one. A really popular vision for financial freedom is the FIRE movement. That stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early. The whole idea is actually pretty simple. Save like crazy and invest smart so you can start living life completely on your own terms, way sooner rather than later. So let's check out a few stories of people who've actually pulled it off.
Okay, so first up, meet Sarah. When she got out of college, she was just buried under this mountain of student loans and credit card debt. But instead of letting that define her future, she decided to take control. She created a super strict budget. I mean, we're talking full-on meal prepping every single Sunday and canceling every subscription she didn't use daily. By living frugally and maxing out her retirement accounts, she did it. She reached financial independence in just 5 years.
All right, then you've got a totally different approach from Mark and Lisa. Their road was paved with real estate. They kicked things off with a strategy called house hacking. They'd buy a duplex, live in one unit, and get this, their tenant's rent paid for most of their mortgage. Pretty smart, right? Over a decade, they just kept repeating this process, building up a portfolio of properties that generated enough passive income for them to retire early.
And our last example, David. He was just done with the whole 9 to 5 grind. He used the skills he already had from his corporate job to launch a consulting business on the side. By saving aggressively and reinvesting that money back into his own business, he managed to leave that job behind in just 7 years. Now, he only takes on projects he's actually passionate about. What a dream, right?
So what's the big takeaway here? Whether it's through saving every penny, investing in property, or starting your own thing, the common thread is taking control. These are just different paths to the exact same destination. And it just goes to show you it's absolutely possible if you have a plan.
Okay, but let's be real. For so many of us, there's this massive roadblock standing in the way of that dream. And that roadblock is debt. And debt, it doesn't care how much you earn. Without a solid plan for your money, it can derail anyone's journey.
So, where does this debt usually come from? Well, it often sneaks up on us in a few common ways. Maybe it's just not having a clear financial education. Or you get blindsided by an unexpected life event, like losing a job. Or maybe you're just unprepared for an accident or an illness because you don't have insurance. These are exactly the kinds of pitfalls we need a map to help us navigate around.
So the big question is, how do we actually build that map? Let's get into the practical step-by-step guide that can get you started. And this is for everyone, no matter where you're starting from today.
Yeah, just look at this. Think of it exactly like a roadmap. You've got your starting point, that's today, and you have a destination. Let's call it financial freedom. What you need are the directions to get there without taking a wrong turn and ending up somewhere you don't want to be.
And you know what? Every good map, every good plan really boils down to 3 key steps. It's a simple but super powerful framework. First, know your destination. Second, figure out your current location. And third, build a system to put the whole journey on autopilot.
Okay, step 1. You got to know where you're going. You need a destination. Financial freedom is a great idea, but it's a little vague. What does it actually look like? Is it that down payment on a house, that dream trip you've always wanted to take? Getting specific with your goals gives you something real to work towards, and that's what keeps you motivated when things get a little tough.
All right, step 2. You have to know your starting point. You need to know exactly where you are right now. And look, a budget isn't about restriction. Don't think of it like that. It's just about awareness. All you do is list all the money you have coming in and all the money you have going out. Just doing that one thing can be a huge eye-opener about where your money's really going. Okay, now for step 3. This is, and I'm not kidding, a genius way to put your whole plan on autopilot. You set up 3 bank accounts. All your income goes into the first one, your living account. Then you set up automatic transfers from there. One sends money to your bills account to cover all those recurring payments, and another sends money to your savings account for your goals. Whatever is left in that first account, that's your spending money, guilt-free. How simple is that? Okay, so let's say you've done all this. You've got your map, you're avoiding debt, you're saving, you're on your way. But
There is a huge hidden pothole on this road to early retirement that can swallow your savings whole if you're not ready for it. We need to talk about healthcare.
I mean, think about it. Before you hit 65 and Medicare kicks in, how on earth are you supposed to pay for healthcare? It's a question that everyone in the FIRE movement has to figure out, and the answer can be, well, shockingly expensive.
Well, check this out. According to a big study from Fidelity, a 65-year-old couple retiring today should expect to spend, on average, $315,000 on healthcare in retirement. I mean, that's a whole house in many parts of the country.
And this is where it gets really dangerous. It's the gap between what we think it's going to cost and what it actually costs. Most people in the survey thought they need around 41 grand for healthcare. The reality, it's almost 8 times higher. That is the kind of miscalculation that can completely wreck an otherwise perfect financial plan.
So what do you do? How do you even begin to plan for that? Well, one of the most powerful tools out there is the Health Savings Account, or HSA. You've got to hear this. It has a triple tax advantage, which is incredibly rare. That means the money you put in is tax deductible, it grows tax-free, and you can take it out tax-free for medical expenses. Basically, it's like a 401k, but for your future health. It's an incredible tool.
Now, an HSA is awesome, but it's not the only tool in the shed. There are other strategies you can look into. Direct primary care is kind of like a Netflix subscription for your doctor. You pay a flat monthly fee for routine care. The ACA Marketplace has subsidized plans if you're under 65. And short-term plans can work as a temporary bridge if you're between jobs. The main thing is to know that you have options.
But listen, if you take away only one thing from this whole section, let it be this. It's a direct quote from an expert, and it's so important. Don't go without any kind of health insurance. The financial risk from just one major medical emergency is way too high. Seriously, it is an absolute non-negotiable.
So at the end of the day, financial freedom isn't about winning the lottery or finding some secret formula, right? It's a journey. And just like any journey, being successful really depends on having a clear, reliable map to guide you past all the obstacles.
So, we've covered the dream, we've looked at the roadblocks, and we've laid out the step-by-step directions. You've got the basic math right here in front of you. So the only real question left is, where does your journey begin?